Welcome to Howard Brown Barber and Beauty Institute. Today, we will be doing the review for properties of the hair and scalp. Let's begin. The scientific study of hair, its diseases and care is called, is it dermatology, trichology, biology, or cosmetology? If you chose B, trichology, you are correct. The two parts of a mature strand of human hair are is it dermis and epidermis, hair shaft and hair follicle, hair root and hair shaft, or hair root and hair follicle? If you chose C, hair root and hair shaft, you are correct. The tube-like depression or pocket in the skin or scalp that contains the hair root is is it hair follicle, hair shaft, hair bulb, or scalp? If you chose A, hair follicle, you are correct. Hair follicles are not found on is it forehead area, back of the hands, soles of the feet, back of the neck? If you chose C, soles of the feet, you are correct. The blank is the small, involuntary muscle in the base of the hair follicle. Is it medulla, erector pili muscle, tinea, or dermal papilla? If you chose B, erector pili muscle, you are correct. The fatty or oily substance secreted by the sebaceous glands is it sweat, lymph, catagen, or sebum? If you chose D, sebum, you are correct. For chemicals to penetrate a healthy cuticle hair layer, they must have, is it no pH, a neutral pH, an alkaline pH, or an acidic pH? If you chose C, an alkaline pH, you are correct. The medulla is composed of blank cells. Is it rod-shaped, round, spiral-shaped, or rectangular? If you chose B, round, you are correct. During the blank phase, a new hair is produced because new cells are actively manufactured in the hair follicle. Is it anagen, catagen, resting, or telogen? If you chose A, anagen, you are correct. The major elements that make up human hair are carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. Is it lead and zinc? Is it keratin and selenium? Is it boron and calcium? Or is it nitrogen and sulfur? If you chose D, nitrogen and sulfur, you are correct. The strong chemical bonds that join amino acids are called. Is it convex bonds, peptide bonds, hydrogen bonds, or side bonds? If you chose B, peptide bonds, you are correct. Which type of melanin provides natural colors ranging from red and ginger to yellow and blonde tones? Is it pheomelanin, eumelanin, polymelanin, or biomelanin? If you chose A, pheomelanin, you are correct. Asians tend to have blank hair. Is it extremely straight, extremely curly, straight to wavy, or wavy to curly? If you chose A, extremely straight, you are correct. To help minimize tangles in extremely curly hair when shampooing, you should use, is it a drying shampoo, strong scalp manipulations, a detangling rinse, or antibacterial shampoo? If you chose C, a detangling rinse, you are correct. Hair texture is classified as, is it wavy, straight, or curly? Is it coarse, medium, or fine? Is it light, medium, or dark? Or is it long, medium, or short? If you chose B, coarse, medium, or fine, you are correct. The measurement of the number of individual hair strands on 1 square inch, 2.5 square centimeters, of the scalp is it hair density, hair elasticity, hair texture, or hair porosity? If you chose A, hair density, you are correct. Compared to hair with high porosity, chemical services performed on hair with low porosity require, is it neutral solutions, more acidic solutions, solutions of the same pH, or more alkaline solutions? If you chose D, more alkaline solutions, you are correct. Wet hair with normal elasticity will stretch up to blank of its original length and return to that length without breaking. Is it 25%, 40%, 50%, or 70%? If you chose C, 50%, you are correct. Oily hair and scalp can be treated by properly washing with a, is it vinegar solution, normalizing shampoo, conditioning shampoo, or dry shampoo? If you chose B, normalizing shampoo, you are correct. Which type of hair almost never has a medulla? Is it oily, pigmented, terminal, or vellus? If you chose D, vellus, you are correct. During which phase does the follicle canal shrink and detach from the dermal papilla? Is it patagen, telogen, anagen, or catagen? If you chose D, catagen, you are correct. The average growth of healthy scalp hair is it ½ inch per week? Is it 1 inch per week? Is it ½ inch per month? Or is it 1 inch per month? If you chose C, ½ inch per month, you are correct. The technical term used to describe gray hair is it canites, tinea, alopecia, or albino? If you chose A, canites, you are correct. A condition of abnormal growth of terminal hair in areas of the body that normally grow only vellus hair is trichorexis, ringed hair, hypertrichosis, or canites. If you chose C, hypertrichosis, you are correct. The technical term for dandruff is it canites, pityriasis, alopecia, or simplex? If you chose B, pityriasis, you are correct. Which of the 5 main structures of the hair root contain the blood and nerve supply that provides the nutrients needed for hair growth? Is it dermal papilla, hair bulb, hair follicle, or sebaceous glands? If you chose A, dermal papilla, you are correct. Because there are so many of them, salt bonds account for about blank of the hair's overall strength. Is it 1/4, 1/2, 1/3, 2/3? If you chose C, 1/3, you are correct. The anagen phase generally lasts from 3 to 5. Is it days, weeks, months, or years? If you chose D, years, you are correct. Scalp hair grows blank on women than on men. Is it slower, faster, thinner, or thicker? If you chose B, faster, you are correct. The blank phase signals the end of the growth. Is it telogen, resting, anagen, or catagen? If you chose D, catagen, you are correct. Scalp massage blank hair growth. Is it increases, decreases, does not increase, is necessary for. If you chose C, does not increase, you are correct. Compared to pigmented hair, gray hair is it exactly the same, softer, more resistant, or less resistant? If you chose A, exactly the same, you are correct. Cross sections of hair are always round, are always oval, are always flattened oval, or can be almost any shape. If you chose D, can be almost any shape, you are correct. Bald men are commonly perceived as, is it more assertive, younger, more physically attractive, or less successful? If you chose D, less successful, you are correct. By age 35, almost blank percent of both men and women show some degree of hair loss. Is it 20, 30, 40, or 50? If you chose C, 40, you are correct. Finasteride, an oral prescription medication for hair loss that is meant for, is it men only, women only, men and women, or animals? If you chose A, men only, you are correct. Congenital cavities exists at or before birth, during adolescence, during middle age, or in the latter years of life. If you chose A, at or before birth, you are correct. Dandruff can easily be mistaken for, is it tinea, dry scalp, pediculosis capitis, or trichoptilosis? If you chose B, dry scalp, you are correct. Current research confirms that dandruff is the result of A, is it bacterium, virus, parasite, or fungus? If you chose D, fungus, you are correct. When the living cells of hair form and begin their journey upward through the hair follicle, they mature in a process called, is it neutralization, transition, keratinization, or maturation? If you chose A, neutralization, you are correct. Tinea is characterized by scales and sometimes painful circular lesions. Is it numbness, blisters, sudden hair loss, or itching? If you chose D, itching, you are correct. The infestation of the hair and scalp with head lice is called, is it hypertrichosis, trichoptilosis, pediculosis capitis, or fragilitas cranium? If you chose C, pediculosis capitis, you are correct. A carbuncle is similar to a furuncle, but is it smaller, larger, harder, or softer? If you chose B, larger, you are correct. Fine hair is blank than coarse or medium hair. Is it thicker, harder to process, more difficult to damage, or more fragile? If you chose D, more fragile, you are correct. Coarse hair, blank. Is it, has the smallest diameter, is the most common hair texture, is not resistant to chemical services, or is stronger than fine hair? If you chose D, is stronger than fine hair, you are correct. The blank is the outermost layer of the hair. Is it hair cuticle, hair bulb, hair follicle, or hair root? If you chose A, hair cuticle, you are correct. The oil glands in the skin that are connected to the hair follicles are the, is it cystine, simplex, sebaceous, or scutula? If you chose C, sebaceous, you are correct. A blank bond is a weak, physical, cross-link side bond easily broken by water or heat. Is it hydrogen, hydrophilic, hydrophobic, or helix? If you chose A, hydrogen, you are correct. Hair is approximately blank percent protein. Is it 60, 70, 80, or 90? If you chose D, 90, you are correct. Total scalp hair loss is known as, is it alopecia areata, androgenic alopecia, alopecia totalis, or alopecia universalis? If you chose C, alopecia totalis, you are correct. Hypertrichosis is also known as, is it ringed hair, hirsutes, canites, or split ends? If you chose B, hirsutes, you are correct. The naturally occurring fungus that causes the symptoms of dandruff when it grows out of control is it medulla, monolithrix, malassezia, or hypertrichosis? If you chose C, malassezia, you are correct. The blank is the lowest part of a hair strand. Is it hair root, hair bulb, hair cuticle, or hair follicle? If you chose B, hair bulb, you are correct. The technical term for beaded hair is it Monolithrix, Fragilitas crinium, Trichorexis nodosa, or hypertrichosis? If you chose A, Monolithrix, you are correct. A highly contagious skin disease caused by a parasite called a mite that burrows under the skin is it capitis, scabies, furuncle, or carbuncle? If you chose B, scabies, you are correct. The term for the spiral shape of a coiled protein is it matrix, cystine, helix, or cystine? If you chose C, helix, you are correct. Shaving, clipping, and cutting the hair on the head blank. Is it makes it grow back faster, makes it grow back darker, makes it grow back coarser, or has no effect on hair growth? If you chose D, has no effect on hair growth, you are correct. Dry, sulfur yellow, cup-like crust on the scalp are called, is it tinea barbae, scabies, scatula, or wheals? If you chose C, scatula, you are correct. The blank are part of the integumentary system. Is it hair, skin, and bones? Is it hair, skin, nails, and glands? Is it hair, glands, and bones? Or is it nails, skin, and muscles? If you chose B, hair, skin, nails, and glands, you are correct. The long, coarse, pigmented hair found on the scalp, legs, arms, and bodies of the males and females are called, is it vellus hair, lanugo hair, extra hair, or terminal hair? If you chose D, terminal hair, you are correct. The technical term for knotted hair is it Trichorexis nodosa, Monolithrix, Trichoptilosis, or hypertrichosis? If you chose A, Trichorexis nodosa, you are correct. The blank is the innermost layer of the hair and is composed of round cells. Is it tinea, monolithrix, medulla, or scatula? If you chose C, medulla, you are correct. When hair leaves the follicles at an angle and forms patterns or streams on the head, it is called, is it crown hair, a cowlick, ringed hair, or a whorl? If you chose D, a whorl, you are correct. The part of the hair located below the surface of the epidermis is it hair root, hair shaft, hair stream, or hair bulb? If you chose A, hair root, you are correct. A particular pattern of hair stream that is usually more noticeable on the front hairline in people with short, thick hair is it cystine? Is it cystine? Is it cortex? Or is it cowlick? If you chose D, cowlick, you are correct. The ability of the hair to absorb moisture is called, is it hair absorbency, hair porosity, hair saturation, or hair stream? If you chose B, hair porosity, you are correct. The middle layer of the hair is it cortex, carbuncle, canity, or catagen? If you chose A, cortex, you are correct. An autoimmune disorder that causes the affected hair follicles to be mistakenly attacked by a person's own immune system is it androgenic alopecia, alopecia areata, alopecia totalis, or alopecia universalis? If you chose B, alopecia areata, you are correct. Vellus hair is also known as, is it lanugo hair, lanthanidine hair, Malassezia hair, monolithrix hair? If you chose A, lanugo hair, you are correct. The technical term for ringworm is it tinea? Is it Tinea barbae? Is it Tinea favosa? Or is it Tinea capitis? If you chose A, Tinea, you are correct. This concludes the review for properties of the hair and scalp. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you are notified when new videos come out. If you would like more information on classes and to join our community, please visit our website at howardbrownonline.com.